press that calls on me. I hear a voice shriller than all music cries Caesar. Speak, Caesar is turned to hear.
Beware the Ides of March.
What woman is that?
A soothsayer bids you, beware the Ides of March.
Set her before me, let me see her face.
Fellow, come from the throng, look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to Caesar? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March.
She's a dreamer. Let us
No, you gotta listen to me! Caesar! Beware the Ides of March! Beware the Ides of March!
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world and the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something. Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world and the seven seas.
I do notice you now of late. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over a friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late, with passions of some difference. Conceptions only proper to myself, which gives some soil perhaps to my behaviors. But let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number, Cassius, be you on.
Then, Brutus, I have much mistook your passion, by means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations.
I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
A. Do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius. Yet I love him well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it that you would impart to me? If it be aught toward the general good, set honor in one eye and death in the other, and I will look upon both indifferently. For let the gods so speed me, as I love the name of honor, more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favor. While honor is the subject of my story, I cannot tell what you and other men think of this life, but for my single self, I had as lief not be, has lived to be an oft the thing as I myself. I was born free as Caesar, so were you. Why man who doth bestride the narrow world, like a colossus, and we petty men walk under his huge legs, and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men at some times are masters of their fates. The fault of Brutus is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that? Caesar. Why should his name be sounded more than yours? Write them together, yours is as fair a name. Sound them it doth become the mouth as well. Weigh them it is as heavy. Conjure with them and Brutus will start spirit as soon as Caesar. Now in the names of all the gods at once, upon what meat doth this our Caesar feed? He's grown so great, he's thou ashamed. And with her by the aegis of the great flood, it was famed with more than one man. Who could say to now that talked of Rome, her white walls encompass but one man? And has a Rome indeed of room enough, when there's in it but one only man? Well, you and I have heard our father say, there was once who would work the eternal devil to keep his state in Rome, as easily as a king.
That you do love me, I'm nothing jealous. What you would work me to do, I have some aim. How I have thought of this and of these times, I shall recount hereafter. For this present I would not. So with love I might treat you, being further good. What you have said, I will consider. What you have to say, I will with patience hear, and find time both meet to hear and answer such high things. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions as this time is like to lay upon us.
I am glad that my weak words have struck, but thus much show fire from Brutus.
The games are done, and Caesar's returning. Tomorrow, if you please speak with me, come home to me, and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble, yet I see that honorable metal may be wrought from that is disposed. Therefore, it is meet that noble minds keep ever with their legs, for who's so firm that cannot be seduced. Caesar doth bear me hard, but he loves Brutus. If our Brutus now he were Cassius, he should not humor me. I will this night in several hands, and at his windows throw as if they came from several citizens, writings all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. And after this, let Caesar seat him sure, for we will shake him, her worst days endure.
Antonius!
Caesar!
Let me have those about me that are fat, sleek-headed men, and such as sleep o' nights. Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look. She thinks too much, and such a dangerous.
Fear her not, Caesar. She's not dangerous. She's a noble Roman, and well given.
Persons such as she be never at heart's ease, whilst they behold a greater than themselves, and therefore are they very dangerous. I rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear, for always I am Caesar. Come on my right hand, for this here is death, and tell me what thou truly thinkst of her.
Who's there?
A Roman?
Casca by your voice.
Your ear is good. Cassius, what night is this?
A very pleasing night to honest men.
Are not you moved? When all the sway of earth shakes like a thing unfirm? Oh, Cassius, I have seen tempests. When the scolding winds have rived the knotty oaks, and I have seen the ambitious ocean swell and rage and foam to be exalted with the threatening clouds. But never till tonight, never till now did I go through a tempest dropping fire. Either there's a civil strife in heaven, or else the world, too saucy with the gods and senses them to send destruction. Whoever knew the heavens menaced so?
Those have known the earth so full of faults. For my part, I have walked about the streets, submitting me into the perilous night, and thus unbraced, I did present myself, even in the aim and very flash of it.
But wherefore did you so much tempt the heavens? It is the part of men to fear and tremble when the most mighty gods by token send such dreadful heralds to astonish us.
You are dull, Casca. And those sparks of life that should be in Roman you do want, or else you use not. You look pale and gaze and put on fear and cast yourself in wonder to see the strange impatience of the heavens. But if you consider the true cause, why all these fires, why all these gliding ghosts, why birds and beasts from quality and kind, why old men full and children calculate, why all these things change for their ordinance, their natures, and perform their faculties to monstrous quality, why you shall find that heaven hath infused them with these spirits to make them instruments of fear and warning unto some monstrous state. Now could I, Casca, name to thee a man, most like this dreadful night, that thunders, lightens, open graves, and roars, as often lying in the Capitol. A man no more than thyself or me in personal action, yet prodigious grown, and fearful as these strange eruptions are.
'Tis Caesar that you mean, is it not, Cassius?
Let it be who it is, for Romans have thews and limbs as to their ancestors. But woe the while our fathers' minds are dead, and we are governed by our mother's spirits. Her yoke and suffering show us womanish.
Indeed. They say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar's a king, and he shall wear his crown by sea and land in every place, save here in Italy.
I know where I'll wear this dagger then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius. If I know this, know all the world besides. That part tyranny that I do bear, I can shake off at pleasure.
So can I. So every bondman in his own hand. bears the power to cancel his captivity.
Then why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor man. I know he would not be a wolf, they see Roman are but sheep. He were no longer not Roman times. Those that with haste will make a mighty fire. Begin it with weak straws, what? Trash. Is Rome, what rubbish and what awful? The search of the base matter to illuminate, to vile a thing as Caesar. But oh grief, where hast thou led me? I perhaps speak this before a willing bondman, then I know my answer must be made. But I am armed, and dangers are to me indifferent.
You speak to Casca, and to such a woman that is no fleering tale. Hold my hand. Be factious for redress of all these griefs, and I shall set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made. Now know you, Casca, I've moved already some of the certain-minded Romans to undergo with me an enterprise of honorable, dangerous consequence. And I know by this, they stay for me on Pompey's porch. For now, there's no stir of walking in the streets, and the complexion of the element in favors like the work we have in hand. Most bloody fury and most terrible.
Stand close a while, for here comes one in haste.
'Tis tonight to know him by his gait. He is a friend. Cinna, who haste you so?
To find out you. Who's this, Metellus Cimber?
Notice Casca went in corporate to our attempts. Am I not stayed for, Cinna?
I'm glad on it. What a fearful night is this. There's 2 or 3 of us have seen strange sights.
Am I not stayed for? Tell me.
Yes, you are. O Cassius, if you could but win the noble Brutus to our party.
Be you content. Good. Cinna, take this paper and look you late in the praetor's chair where Brutus may but find it. Throw this in at his window and set this up with wax upon our Brutus' statue. All this done, repair to Pompey's porch where you shall find us. Come, Casca, you and I will yet ere day see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him is ours already. The man entire, upon our next encounter, yields him ours.
Oh, he sits high in all the people's hearts, and what would appear offense in us, his countenance, like richest alchemy, will change to virtue and to worthiness.
Him and his worth and our great need of him, you're right well conceited, but let's go, for it's after midnight and ere day. We'll awake him and be sure of him.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world and the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use
Thou sleepest, awake, and see thyself. Shall Rome, etc., speak, strike, redress? Brutus, thou sleepest awake. Such instigations have been often dropped where I have taken them up. Shall Rome, etc., thus must I piece it out. Shall Rome stand under one man's awe? What, Rome? My ancestors did from the streets of Rome the Tarquin drive when he was called a king. Speak, strike, redress. Am I entreated to speak and strike? O Rome, I make thee promise, that if the redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus. It must be by his death. And for my part, I know no personal cause to spurn at him, but for the general. He will be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. It is the bright day that brings forth the adder and craves wary walking. Crown him? That, and then I grant we put a sting in him that at his will he may do danger with. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. And to speak truth of Caesar, I have not known when his affection swayed more than his reason. but 'tis a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder, where to the climber upward turns his face. But when he once attains the utmost round, he then unto the ladder turns his back, looks in the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. So Caesar may. Then, lest he may prevent, and since the core will bear no color for the thing he is, fashion it thus, that what he is, augmented, would run to these and these extremities, and therefore think him the serpent's egg, which hatched, would as his kind grow mischievous, and kill him in the shell.
I think we are to bold upon your rest. Good morrow, Brutus, do we trouble you?
I have been up this hour, awake all night. Know I these men that come along with you?
Yes, every man of them, and no man here but honors you. And every one doth wish you had but that opinion of yourself, which every noble Roman bears of you.
What a time have you choose out, Ligarius, to wear a kerchief? Would you were not sick?
I am not sick. If Brutus had in hand any exploit worthy the name of honor,
Such an exploit have I in hand, Ligarius. Had you a healthful ear to hear of it?
by all the gods Romans bow before, I here discard my sickness. What's to do?
A piece of work that would make sick men whole.
But are not some holdout we must make sick?
That must we also. Give me your hands, all over, one by one.
And let us try our resolution.
No, not an oath. If not the face of men, the sufferance of our souls, the time's abuse. If these be modest weak, break off bedtimes, and every man hence to his idle bed. So let high-sided tyranny rage on. But do not stain the even virtue of our enterprise, nor the insuppressive metal of our spirits. To think that our cause, or our performance did need an oath, when every drop of blood that every Roman bears, and nobly bears, is guilty of a several bastardy, if he does break the smallest particle of any promise that hath passed from him.
Shall no man else be touched but only Caesar?
Decius well urged. I think it is not meet Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We will find him a shrewd contriver. And you know his means, if he improve them, may well stretch so far as to annoy us all. Which to prevent, let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our course will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius, to cut the head off and hack the limbs, like wrath and death and envy afterwards. For Antony is but a limb of Caesar, for he can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off.
But I fear him for the engrafted love he bears to Caesar.
Alas, good Cassius, do not think of him. If he does love Caesar, all that he can do is to himself. Take thought and die for Caesar.
You answered not, but with an angry whack every hand gave sign for me to leave you. So I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience which seemed too much enkindled, withal hoping was but an effect of humor, which sometime hath his hour with every man. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep. And could it work so much upon your shape, as hath much prevailed on your condition? I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I'm not well in health, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace him and succumb by it.
Why, so I do. Good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the dank morning? What, is Brutus sick? And will he steal out of his wholesome bed to dare the foul contagion of the night, and tempt the roomy and unpurged air to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus. You have some sick offense within your mind, which by my right and virtue of my place I ought to know of. And upon my knee, I charm you by my once commended beauty, and by all your vows of love, and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me, yourself, your half, why you are heavy, and what mention I have had to resort to you, for here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness.
Kneel not, gentle Portia.
I should not need if you were gentle, Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it accepted that I should know no secrets that pertain to you? Am I yourself, but as it were, in sore limitation, to keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure? If it be no more, Portia's Brutus's harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then should I know this secret. I grant I am a woman, but withal, a woman that Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant I am a woman, but withal, a woman well reputed, Cato's daughter. Think you I am no stronger than my sex, being so fathered and so husband? Tell me your counsels. I will not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy, and given myself a voluntary wound here in the thigh. Can I bear that with patience and not my husband's secrets?
O ye gods, render me worthy of this noble wife. Portia, go in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake all the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I will construe to thee, all the character of my sad brows.
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir out of your house today.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threatened me never looked but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanishing.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies. Yet now they fright me. There is one within. Besides the things that we have heard and seen, recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. A lioness hath whelped in the streets, and graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce, fiery warriors fought upon the clouds, in ranks and squadrons, and right form of war, which drizzled blood upon the Capitol. The noise of battle hurtled in the air, and horses did neigh, and dying men did groan, and ghosts did shriek and squeal about the streets. O Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided? Whose ends is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall forth, for these predictions to the world in general as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before the deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders I have heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come.
Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate House, and he shall say that you are not well today. Let me, upon my knees, prevail on this.
Mark Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy humor I will stay at home. Ah, here's Decius Brutus. She shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail. Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate House.
And you have come in very happy time to bear my greeting to the Senate, and tell them I will not come today. Cannot is false, and dare not falser. I will not come. Tell them so, Decius.
Say he is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched mine arms so far as to be afraid to tell graybeards the truth? Decius, tell them Caesar will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia here, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight she saw my statua, which like a fountain with 100 spouts did run pure blood, and many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. And these did she apply for warnings, portents, and evils imminent, and hath begged on her knee that I stay at home today.
This dream is all misinterpreted. It was a vision fair and fortunate. Your statue spouting blood from many pipes in which so many smiling Romans bathed signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood, that great men shall press for stains, relics, cognizance, and tinctures. This by a Calpurnia's dream is signified.
And this way you have well expounded it.
I have. When you have heard what I can say, and know it now, the Senate hath concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were mock apt to be rendered for someone to say, break up the Senate till another time when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. If Caesar hide himself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is pardon me, Caesar, for my dear, dear love for our preceding business, tell you this, and reason to my love is liable.
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia! I am ashamed I did yield to them. Give me my robe, for I will go. And we, like friends, shall straightway go together.
That every alike is not the same, O Caesar. The heart of Brutus earns to think upon.
I was standing right there when it came down from the sky. The way it spoke to us, you felt it from inside. Said it was up to us to decide.
The Ides of March are come.
I, Caesar, come, but not gone.
Step back.
All hail Caesar!
All hail Caesar! Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, Metellus Cimber throws before thy seat an humble heart.
I must prevent thee, Cimber. Thy brother, by decree, is banished. If thou doth bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. Know this, Caesar doth not wrong, nor without cause will he be satisfied.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own, to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ears for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thee hand. But not in flattery, Caesar, desiring thee that Publius Cimber may have immediate freedom of repeal.
What, Brutus?
Pardon, Caesar, Caesar, pardon. As low to thy foot doth Cassius fall to, begging enfranchisement for Publius Cimber.
I could be well moved if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. But I am constant as the northern star, of whose true, fixed, and resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks. They are all fire, and every one doth shine. But there is but one in all doth hold his place. So in the world, 'tis furnished well with men, and men are flesh and blood and apprehensive. Yet in the number I do know but one, that unassailable holds on his rank, unshaken of emotion, and that I am he. let me a little show it, even in this, that I was constant, Cimber should be banished, and constant do remain, to keep him so.
Oh, Caesar!
Hence wilt thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar!
Doth not Brutus bootless kneel?
Speak hands for me!
Et tu, Brute? Then false Caesar.
Liberty! Freedom!
Sirs, in our flames! Climb off, stand still!
Too.
Ambition's debt is paid.
How many ages hence shall this our lofty scheme be acted over?
In states unborn and accents yet unknown.
How many times shall Caesar bleed in sport? That no on Pompey's basis lies long no worthier than the dust.
So oft as that shall be, so often
Shall not of us be called the men that gave their country liberty?
what shall we for?
And every man away Brutus shall lead, who embraces here the most boldest and best hearts of Rome.
But here comes Antony. I know we shall have him well to befriend.
I wish we may, but yet I have a mind that fears him much, and my misgivings still fall shrewdly to the purpose.
Welcome, Mark Antony.
O mighty Caesar, doth thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils, shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, nor no instrument of half that worth as those your swords, made rich with the most noble blood of this world.
O Antony, beg not your death of us. Though now we must appear bloody and cruel as by our hands in this present act you see we do. See you but our hands, and this, the bleeding business they have done. Our hearts you see not. They are pitiful, and pity to the general wrong of Rome. As fire drives out fire, so pity hath done this deed on Caesar. To your part, for you our swords have leaden points, Mark Antony.
Your force should be as strong as any man's in disposing of your dignities.
Only be patient till we have appeased the multitude besides themselves with fear, and we will deliver you the cause. Why I, that did love Caesar when I struck him, have thus proceeded.
I doubt not of your wisdom. Let each man render me his bloody hand. Gentlemen all, alas, what shall I say? My credit now stands on such slippery ground that one of two bad ways you must conceit me. Either a coward or a flatterer. that I did love thee, Caesar. Oh, 'tis true. If then thy spirit look upon us now, shall it not grieve thee dearer than thy death to see thy Antony, making his peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes?
Mark Antony, I blame you not for praising Caesar so, but what compact mean you to have with us? Will you be pricked in number of our friends, or shall we on and not depend on you?
Therefore I took your hands, but was, indeeded, swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. Friends, I am with you all, and love you all. Upon this hope that you shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else were this a bloody spectacle? Our reasons are so full of good regard that were you, Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That is all I seek. And am moreover suitor, that I may produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus! A word with you? You know now what you do. Do not consent that Antony speak at his funeral. I know you how much the people may be moved, but that which he will utter.
By your pardon, I will myself into the pulpit first, and give reason of our Caesar's death. What Antony shall speak, I will protest he speaks by leave and by permission, and that we are content. Caesar should have all true rights and lawful ceremonies. It shall advantage more than do us harm.
I know not what may fall. I like it not.
Mark Antony, take you Caesar's body. You shall not in your funeral speech blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar. And say you do it by our permission, else shall you not have the hand at all about his funeral. And you shall go into the same pulpit whereto I am going, after my speech is ended.
Be it so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body then, and follow us.
O pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds do I now prophesy, which, like dumb mouths, do ope their ruby lips to beg the voice and utterance of my tongue. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men.
And public reason shall be rendered of Caesar's death. Romans, countrymen, and lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor, and have respect to mine honor that you may believe. Awaken your senses and censure me in your wisdom, that you may the better judge. if there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living to die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead, to live all free men? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he is fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There's tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman? If any, speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? If any, speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so vile that would not love his country? If any, speak, for him have I offended. I pause for reply. Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The question of his death is enrolled in the Capitol. His glory is not extenuated wherein he was worthy, nor his offenses enforced, for which he suffered death.
Brutus!
But here comes Antony, who, though he had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of Caesar's dying, a place in the Commonwealth, as of which of you shall not? With this I depart. That as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death. Friends, let me depart alone, and for my sake stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse, and grace the speech which Mark Antony, by our permission, is allowed to make. I do entreat you not a man depart save by alone, till Antony has spoke.
For Brutus's sake, I am beholding to you. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault. And grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all honorable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept! Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withhold you then to mourn for him? But yesterday, the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now, he lies there, and none so poor to do him reverence. If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. Through this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed. And as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it, as rushing out of doors to be resolved, if Brutus so unkindly knocked, or no. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, O you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him! This was the most unkindest cut of all!
What are we going to do then? Are we going to arrest him? Why would he murder him?
Sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not that made them do it. They are wise and honorable, and will, no doubt, with reasons answer you. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts.
Antony, what do you think needs to be done?
But here's a parchment with the seal of Caesar. 'Tis his will. To every Roman citizen he gives, to every several man, 75 drachmas. Moreover, he hath left you all his walks, his private arbors and new planted orchards on this side Tiber. He hath left them you, and to your heirs forever, common pleasures to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar. When comes such another?
Antony,
Have you gone down to Rome?
Not now. Now, let it work. Mischief, thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt.
Sir, Octavius has already come to Rome.
Where is he?
He is at Caesar's house.
And thither will I straight to visit him. He comes upon a wish. Fortune is merry, and in this mood will give us anything.
Holding hands, skipping like a stone on our way to see what we have done. The first to speak is the first to lie. The children cross their hearts and hope to die.
These many then shall die. Their names are pricked.
Your brother too must die. Consent you, Lepidus?
I do consent.
Prick him down,
on
Reggie.
condition. Publius shall not live. Who is your sister's son, Mark Antony?
He shall not live. Look, with a spot, I damn him. But, Lepidus, go you to Caesar's house. Fetch the will hither, and we will determine how to cut off some charge and legacies.
What? Shall I find you there?
Or here, or at the Capitol.
This is a slight, unmeritable man, meet to be sent on errands. Is it fit that the threefold world divided, he should stand one of the three to share it?
So you thought him, and took his voice who should be pricked to die in our black sentence and prescription?
Octavius, I have seen more days than you. And though we bestow these honors upon this man, to ease ourselves of diverse slanderous loads, he shall but bear them as an ass bears gold. Then take we down his load and turn him off, like to the empty ass, to shake his ears and graze in commons.
You may do your will, but he is a tried and valiant soldier.
So is my horse, Octavius. And for that I do appoint him store of provender. And now, Octavius, listen, great things. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers. We must straight make head, our alliances combined, our best friends made, our means stretched, and let us presently go sit in council.
Let us do so, for we are at the stake, and bait about with many enemies, and some that smile have in their hearts, I fear, millions of mischiefs.
Travel the world and the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to be out you.
A word, Ligarius. How she received you, let me be resolved.
With courtesy and respect enough, but not with such familiar instances, nor with such free and friendly confidence as she hath used of old.
Thou hast described a hot friend cooling.
Most noble, but you have done me wrong!
Judge me, you gods! Wrong are mine enemies, and if not so, how should I wrong a sister?
He wronged me doth appear in this. Condemned to know Lucius Pillar for taking bribes here of the Sardians, written my letters praying on the side, because I knew the man were slighted
You
out!
wrong yourself to write in such a case.
In such time as this, it does not meet that every night's offense should bear his comment.
Let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm, to sell and mark your offices for gold to undeservers.
I, an itching palm, you know. The Hebrews that speak this are by the gods. The speech or else your last.
The name of Cassius honors his corruption, and chastisement doth therefore hide his head.
Chastisement?
Remember, March! The Ides of March, remember? To not break Julius' bleed, but for justice' sake. What shall one of us that struck the foremost man of all this world, but for supporting robbers? Shall we now contaminate our fingers with the base bribes, and sell the mighty space of our large honors, for so much trash as may be grasped thus? I had rather be a dog and bathe the moon than such a Roman.
Brutus baiting on me, I'll not endure it. You forget yourself to hedge me in. I'm a soldier, I older in practice, abler than yourself to make conditions.
You say you're a better soldier. Let it appear so. Make your vaunting true, and it shall please me well. For mine own part, I shall be glad to learn of noble men.
You wrong me every way. You wrong me, Brutus. As an elder soldier, not even did I say
If
better.
you did, I care not.
Do not presume too much upon my love. For I may do that I shall be sorry for.
You have done that which you should be sorry for. There's no terror, Cassius, in your threats, for I am armed so strong in honesty that they pass by me as the idle wind, which I respect not. I did send to you for certain sums of gold, which you denied me. For I can raise no money by vile means. By heaven, I had rather coin my heart and drop my blood for drachmas than to wring from the hard hands of peasants their vile trash by any indirection. I did send you for gold to pay my legions, which you denied me. Was that done like Cassius? Should I have answered Caius Cassius so? When Marcus Brutus grows so covetous to let such rascal counters from his friends, be ready, gods, with all your thunderbolts, dash them for payment!
I did not! It was a fool that brought my answer back. Brutus hath derived my heart, a friend should bear his friend's infirmities, but Brutus may find greater than they are.
I do not till you practice them on me.
You love me not.
I do not like your faults.
As friendly I can never see such
All
faults.
flatters would not, though they do appear as huge as high Olympus.
Come, Antony Octavius, come. Revenge yourselves alone on Cassius. For Cassius, aware of the world, hated by one she loves, praised by her brother, checked like a servant, all her faults observed, sent a notebook unlearned and come I wrote to cast into my teeth. There's my dagger strike as thou didst at Caesar. For I know, when thou didst taste him worst, thou wast one ever loved Cassius.
Sheathe your dagger! Be angry when you will. It shall have scope. Do what you will. Dishonor shall be humor. O Cassius, you're yoked with a lamb that carries anger as the flint bears fire, who, much enforced, shows a hasty spark, and straight is cold again.
Hath Cassius lived, to mirth and laughter to her Brutus when grief and blood ill-tempered vexeth her?
When I spoke that, I was ill-tempered too,
Do you confess so much? Give me your hand.
and my heart too.
Oh, Brutus,
What's the matter?
have not you love enough to bear with me when that rash humor that my mother gave me makes me forgetful?
Yes, Cassius. And from henceforth, when you are over earnest with your Brutus, he shall think your mother chides, and leave you so.
I did not think you could have been so angry.
O Cassius, I'm sick of many griefs.
Of your philosophy, you make no use if you give place to accidental evils.
No men bear sorrow better. Portia's dead.
Portia?
She is dead.
How escaped I killing when it crossed you so? A touching and supportable loss. Upon what sickness?
Impatient of my absence, and grief that young Octavius with Mark Antony had made themselves so strong. For with her death that tidings came. With this she fell distract, and her attendants absent, swallowed fire.
And died so.
Even so.
O ye immortal gods.
Speak no more of her. Here, give me a bowl of wine. In this, I bury all unkindnesses, Cassius.
My heart is thirsty for that noble pledge. I cannot drink too much of Brutus's love.
Come in, Titinius. Welcome to Masala. Now sit we about this taper here and call in question our necessities.
Portia, art thou gone?
No more. I pray you. Masala, I have here received letters that young Octavius and Mark Antony come down upon us with a mighty power, bending their expedition toward Philippi.
Myself have letters of the selfsame tenor.
With what addition?
That by prescription and bills of Valerie, Octavius Antony Lepidus have put to death 100 senators.
Therein our letters do not well agree. Mine speak of some 70 senators that died by their prescriptions, Cicero being one.
Cicero is dead, and by that order of prescription.
Woe to our work alive. What do you think of marching to Philippi presently?
I do not think it good.
Your reason?
This it is. 'Tis but the enemy seek us, weary his means and his soldiers, to himself offense. Whilst we lying still are full of rest, defense, and nimbleness.
Good reasons must have forced good place to better. The people twixt Philippi and this ground do stand but a forced affection, for they have grudged us contribution. The enemy marching along by them shall make a fuller number up. Come on, refresh it, new added and encouraged. From which advantage shall we cut them off? If at Philippi we do face them there, these people at our backs.
Hear me, good brother.
By your pardon, you must know beside. We have tried the utmost of our friends. Our legions are brimful. Our cause is right. There is a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood gives place to fortune. Omitted, all the voyages of their life is bound in shallows and in miseries. On such a full sea are we now afloat, and we must take the current as it serves, or lose our ventures.
Then with your will, go on. We'll along ourselves and meet them at Philippi.
Night has crept upon our talk, and nature must obey necessity, which we will negard with little rest. There's no more to say?
No more. Good night. This was an ill beginning of the night. Never let such division come between our souls. Let it not, Brutus.
Everything is well.
Good night, my lord.
Good night, good sister.
Good night, Lord Brutus.
This is a sleepy tune. Oh, murderous slumber. Let me see. Let me see. Is not the leaf turned down where I left reading? Here it is, I think. How ill this taper burns. Ah! Who comes here? I think it's the weakness of mine eyes that shapes this monstrous apparition. It comes upon me. Art thou anything? Art thou some god, some angel, or some devil that makes my hair to stare and my blood turn cold? Speak to me what thou art!
Thy evil spirit, Brutus.
Why comest thou?
To tell thee thou shalt see me at Philippi.
Why, I shall see thee again then.
Aye, at Philippi.
Why, I shall see thee at Philippi then. Now I have taken to heart thou banishest. O spirit, I would hold more talk with thee. Messiah! Titinius! Sirs, awake! Go and commend me to my sister Cassius. Bid her set on her powers be times before, and we will follow.
Said the enemy would not come down but keep the hills and upper regions. It proves not so. Their battles are at hand. They mean to warn us at Philippi here. Answering before them they do demand.
Tut! I'm in their bosoms and I know wherefore they do it. They could be content to visit other places and come down with fearful bravery, thinking by this face to fasten in our thoughts that they have courage. But 'tis not so.
Prepare you, generals, for the enemy comes on in gallant show. Their bloody sound of battles rung out. Something to be done immediately.
Now, most noble Brutus, the gods today stand friendly that we may. Lovers in peace lead on our days to age. But since the affairs of men still rest uncertain, let's reason with the worst that may befall. If we do lose this battle, then is this the last time that we shall speak together? What are you then determined to do?
Even by the rule of that philosophy, for which I did blame Cato, for the death which he did give himself. I know not how, but I find it vile and cowardly, for fear of what may fall to prevent the time of life. Arming myself with patience to stay the providence of some high powers that govern us below.
Then if we do lose this battle, you are contented to be led in triumph through the streets of Rome?
No, Cassius, no. Think not, thou noble Roman, that ever Brutus will go bound to Rome. He bears too great a mind. But this same day must end the work the Ides of March begun. And if we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore our everlasting farewell take. Forever and forever farewell, good Cassius. If we do meet again, why then we shall smile. If not, why then this parting was well made.
Forever and forever farewell, Brutus. If we do meet again, shall smile indeed. If not, 'tis true this parting was well made.
Why then lead on? Oh, that a man might know the end of this day's business ere it come. But it sufficeth that the day will end, and then the end is known. Come all away!
His soldiers spill the spoil, whilst we by Antony are all enclosed. Fly further off, my lady, fly further off. Mark Antony is in your tents, my lady. Fly, therefore.
This hill is far enough.
Noble Cassius, fly far off.
Look, Ligarius. Are those my tents where I perceive the fire?
They are. Titinius is enclosed round about, with horsemen that make to her on the spur. Yet she spurs on. Now they are almost on her. Now, Titinius, now some light. She lights too. She's taken.
Come down. We hold no more. Oh, coward that I am to live so long, to see my best friend ta'en before my face. In Parthia, when I saved thy life, swore thee that whatsoever I did bid thee do, thou shouldst attempt it. Come now, keep thine oath. Now be a free man. With this good sword that ran through Caesar's thou search this bosom. Stay not to answer here. Take thou the hilt. And when my face is covered as it is now, guide thou the sword. Caesar, thou art revenged, even with the sword that killed thee.
So I am free, yet would not so have been.
O Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet. Thy spirit walks abroad and turns our swords in our own proper entrails. O setting sun, as in thy red rays thou dost sink to night, so in her red blood Cassius's day is set. The sun of Rome is set. Our day is gone. Clouds, dews, and dangers come. Our deeds are done. Come, poor remains of French. Rest upon this rock.
Statilius showed the torchlight, but he came not back. He is overtaken or slain.
What says my lord?
Why this, Decius? The ghost of Caesar hath appeared to me several times by night. At Sardis once, and this last night here in Philippi fields. I know my hour has come.
Not so, my lord.
Nay, Decius, I'm sure it is. Thou seest the world, Decius, how it goes. Our enemies have beat us to the pit. It is much more worthy to leap in ourselves than tarry till they push us. Good Decius, thou knowest we two went to school together, even for that our love of old. Hold you my sword hilt while I run on it.
That's not an office for a friend, my lord.
Fly, fly, my lord! There's no tarrying here!
Farewell to you, and you, Decius. Strato, thou hast been all this while asleep. Farewell to thee too, Strato. Good gentlemen, my heart does joy that in all my life I found no man, but he was good to me. I shall have glory by this losing day, more than Octavius and Mark Antony by this vile conquest shall attain unto. So fare you well at once, for Brutus's tongue hath almost ended his life's history. Night hangs upon mine eyes. My bones would rest that they have labored to attain this hour.
Fly, my lord, fly!
Hence! I will follow. Strato, stay thou by thy lord. Thou art a fellow of good respect, Strato. Thy life hath had some match of honor in it. Hold you my sword hilt and turn away thy face while I do run upon it, wilt thou, Strato?
Give me your hand first. Fare you well, my lord.
Farewell, good Strato. Caesar! No, be still. I killed not thee without so good a will.
What man is that?
My master's man. Strato, where is thy master?
Free him from the bondage you are in, Messala. The conquerors can but make fire of him, but Brutus only overcame himself, and no man hath honor by his death.
This was the noblest Roman of them all. All the conspirators, save only he, did that they did in envy of great Caesar. He only, in a general, honest thought, and common good to all, made one of them. His life was gentle, the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man.
According to his virtue, let us use him. With all respect and rights of a burial, within my tent tonight his bones shall lie, most like a soldier, ordered honorably.
Octavius! Octavius! What will happen to Rome?
Octavius!
So call the field to rest, and let's away to part the glories of this happy day.
Answer me!
It's a very